Greetings, good storytellers. I am Jack Fulmer, and it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to an audio commentary. An artful audio commentary, if you will. Now, the video that you are seeing is both the first, third, and in a way the pilot to my trope video series. And there is understandably a lot to unpack in such a statement. And so I should first explain that I am a huge fan of audio commentaries. And it was in fact while watching the audio commentary for The Emperor's New Groove that I became inspired by a section where the creators talked about the arc of the animator, describing how animators usually get their strokes about halfway through the film, and so because of this, they do not like to animate the film in chronological order. This way, they can put their best foot forward by animating some of the more important scenes after they've already gotten the animation down pat. And being someone who overthinks things, I thought this would be a perfect way to make the first video on my channel be more polished by having it actually be the second recorded. And I will continue with that in a moment. I just want to touch on this scene of David Xanatos sitting with his hands steepled. Now you can see that I fade from that scene into the image of me with my hands similarly steepled. And the significance of that for me is that I used that same image of Xanatos for several years as my avatar online, to the extent that my friends to this day still call me Xan. And with this being the first video that I made, it was symbolic that this would be the first time that my friends would see the real me, my online friends, that is. Another thing that I simply have to mention is this wonderful clip from The Road to Morocco, starring Bing Crosby and Bob Hope, which so perfectly embodies the idea of plot armor, while acting as a beautiful nod to my love for classic cinema and musicals. And while I always try to find apropos clips for these videos, anytime I get to use a clip like this, it honestly makes the entire video worthwhile in and of itself. But now, as I said, this was the first video that I recorded. It was the test video. It was the video that I used to sort out the technical difficulties, of which there were many, and try to get things to a point where it was presentable. And I actually did many recordings of it. This might have been the 5th different session, just trying to sort out everything. And feeling at this point that the quality of all the aspects was decent enough, I then went ahead and recorded The Willing Suspension of Disbelief as the proper first video for the channel, and How to Homage, and made them both live on my YouTube channel so that people could see them. And then I held plot armor back for about 10 days, I think it was, and then added it to the channel as well. And even though it appears as the third video, you can see that the true order of the videos is actually borne out by their duration, because Willing Suspension of Disbelief clocks in at around 7.5 minutes, while How to Homage is 9 minutes, and yet plot armor is the shortest of them all at just barely 7 minutes. And as for being the pilot, if you are for some reason exceedingly well versed in my videos, I don't know why you would be to this degree, but if you are, you might notice that this is actually a slightly different take of my scenes from this video. The version that appears on the channel has a little bit better color correction, and I'm not wandering around quite as much. And that was one thing that I didn't anticipate being a problem, but I just innately think better on my feet. I like to pace to sort out problems, and even if I get animated discussing some movie plot or something like that with friends or family, I will oftentimes end up pacing. And while that may be very conducive to thought, it doesn't really work that well for video making, because the shaky, wandering of me back and forth and the camera trying to keep up with me in this confined space is either a little bit mesmerizing as you watch it, or more likely a little bit almost nauseating, depending on how badly you're affected by it. And So all things considered, when it came time to upload Plot Armor, I decided I needed to do one more take, and now that I knew the importance of standing still and had a little bit more confidence that I should go ahead and create one final recording of Plot Armor and have that be the version that would go up on the channel. And it's strange to me because I wondered originally if I would be frightened at making these videos, if stage fright, if the idea of an unseen audience watching me would cause me to struggle. And strangely enough, it was exactly the opposite. It was the understanding that this was just me talking into a camera. My suspension of disbelief was well and truly shattered. I had no delusions of this being anything more. But because of this, I knew this was but one of many takes, and so there was no reason to not keep making takes and keep trying to get it perfect. And that chase for the perfect take, that perfectionism, while beneficial for trying to create something that is good, can be taken too far. And so it's something that I've tried to get under control, because it's important to allow flaws. It's important to allow there to be nuances in everything that we create. And trying to harshly chase true perfectionism is just not worth it. It doesn't have the same elegance and unexpected beauty that the imperfect has. And so, with all this understood, that's why it's so important to me to finally get a chance to put this video back on the channel. That's why I saved this version of Plot Armor for so long. Because I knew that it mattered, it served a purpose, and to just delete it wouldn't be right. That it deserved a place on the channel. It deserved to be remembered. Because while it is definitely flawed, it is the first video that I created. It is the start of all the other videos, and anything that I do with this channel will owe its success or its struggles and its very existence in some way to this video. So, for better or worse, this is the pilot to my trope video series, and it is the start of this beautiful dream that you've allowed me to enjoy of making my videos, and now being able to make an audio commentary. Such a foolish dream, but something that brings me such joy. So, with this audio commentary having now lasted longer than the video that it was for, thank you very much for watching my videos, and I hope that my videos are and continue to be either informative or, at the very least, a pleasant diversion. Until next time.